Oh shit, hold on guys. Bear with me. I was just sipping some coffee. All right, so we're going to talk about really quickly some games that these cults, these practitioners, and these stalkers, this organized harassment, criminal activity, some of their antics, okay? And this is once again to help those of you who are new to the journey, as well as those of you who are trying to investigate. You're sincere, you don't know anything about that stuff, or you don't condone that type of stuff. And you're sincerely trying to decipher and look into certain things because maybe it's confusing, it's been hidden. And so I talk about stuff in real time, practical experiences, because that's the way the targets are living it. Okay, even though the rest of the world can't see it, that's the way the targets are living it in living color at all times behind the scene. So those that are dealing with either distorted practitioners abusing the occult, as well as just people who have power and access to tamper with dwelling places, or everything in between. Okay, so I am a content creator. Obviously, you're looking at me here. Most of my ops and stalkers are also cyber stalkers of mine. Majority of them are people who are monitoring my online activity. Okay, especially those that are on the same property as my son. So they've been, I mean, this is something I've come to find out and was given a tip about several months back. This has been from the beginning, even before he got to this location. They've been monitoring and watching online. Okay, so this is not new. And people could watch you online, but stalking and watching are two different things, you know. And so those who are not familiar with what cyber stalking actually is, it may be served to look into that, because there is a thing as cyber stalking. Okay. So they are on every live that I create. For those of you who wonder, yes, they are. And if you happen to go on my TikTok, you'll be able to track anybody who come in there. Chances are those are some of the cult members. They may be hiding under different profiles and names and you name it, but I guarantee you that it's some of them. Okay, they're usually the first ones in because they start their spell work. They do all sorts of stuff. They just got quiet now because they know that I'm live. They may kick up again, but they're still doing the same bumping, noising. They had a temporary lapse, a moment, maybe because they had shocking news a couple of days ago. But they're back at their regularly scheduled program. Now, so they're still up to the same noise making and spell casting. Okay, that's on the property. However, on a last live, a live that I did on my TikTok, I want to say, the last one, after I got off, suddenly the electrical sockets in the room went out. I'm going to say it again. Immediately upon ending that live, and when I say immediate, I mean immediate. Immediate upon me ending that live, the wall sockets, where you plug in your electrical, on all this, where you would plug in, it all went out. I reset the breakers. But again, these are ways that they attempt to fuck with your head, to irritate you, to in some cases to get you to have to create a work order, because like, why is this out, especially if you don't know how to like troubleshoot anything yourself, so that people can come in and do their shenanigans. Okay, these are games. Just like when I'm on live and I'm really talking, I'm having a reading and I'm hitting a nerve, or I'm hitting some strong points that's tender to them because they're guilty. This is when, if they have access to devices, it'll glitch and it'll kick and a boot out on every point. if they have access. And most of them, like our devices and accounts and activities, phones get cloned. And if you're unfamiliar with that, again, you can investigate. You can find out. For the people that are new and they're trying to figure all this stuff out, it's possible. Okay. It's easy to do, especially if you have access to power. If you have access to the powers that be in any given area, that's not that hard to do. If you have access to cops, if you have access to hackers, if you have access, yes, you can do that. Corrupt government, not all government is corrupt, but y'all know how this go. Putting you on a watch list illegally gives people access to things that they are not supposed to have access to, because a watch list, a part of the original benevolence pertaining to the vibrancy and the retaining of the Americas, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be for real threats, okay? And which means that's to counter the intelligence of the hostilities. So that means access to be able to tap into all sorts of things, including the technology. Okay. So now, and then, of course, on the witchy side, you'll have the occult practitioners, doing their tricky roo, switchy boo, blee, blee, doing all of their shit as well. Now, why do I want to share this? We're talking about the psychological warfare tactics. We're talking about how they are attempting to irritate and exasperate the target, from mild to moderate to advanced to extreme. Everything oscillating in between to wear the target out. This is also why they send in honey, what do you call them? Honey pots or whatever they call it, honey trap, honey pots, as well as the antagonizers. So there's an oscillation between the crazies, the rude, obnoxious motherfuckers, that's being, and then since you're so irritated and exasperated by all the nasty, anybody who show you to like a millisecond of fake kindness, then they can use that to get to your energy, to get information, to afflict some kind of harm or spell, which backfires at some point, depending on where you are. If you're anything like me as a TI, I've infused something. I have something ongoing with my oversoul and with my team on GP, just on GP for the rest of my life. Oh, for the rest of my goddamn life. Anybody coming at me with hidden dishonor will suffer, period. They can come with a smile. They can come bearing gifts. If their asses is a plant, they gonna suffer. They ass might go home and shit, diarrhea, water shit for 30 days. And it seem insignificant and unrelated. That's because they shouldn't have came at me with shit. They shouldn't have came at me with shit, trying to create shit for me. That's why. I'm just kidding, but I'm not. So look. So those are the games we have to remember. So to be fair, I'm only addressing the TIs and those who are concerned for the TI. People who are concerned about the TIs but don't have knowledge about this stuff because it's not your personal reference and experience. So I'm trying to assist in that way. Keep in mind that there's no name tags. Okay, the killers don't. Okay, the only killers that have a name tag, in a sense of a visual, is in the movies such as Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers. But by the time you get there, it's too late. You finna die. Okay, so unless you can get away, because they don't announce themselves. Well, Freddy kind of did, because he was like dramatic and theatrical and shit. It's like, nigga, kill nigga. Is that what you gonna do, nigga? Because you want to have a conversation. Nobody. Okay, back to what I'm saying. They don't. They don't announce themselves. They just come. They walk with the slow mob, which kind of baffles me of how they can walk with their slow mob and still kill you. Okay. So sometimes they speed up a little bit, but they never run. And since they never run, I want to know how come they always get us. But anyway, we have to keep in mind that these things are hidden on purpose. If we're looking for sense and obvious, then you're gonna be perplexed forever. Forever. You're gonna be, because it's always in plain sight. A honey pot, a honey trap is somebody who comes in with honey. The whole idea of honey is something to soothe, something kind, something to provide a service and address something. You see that, how the abuse is created and then the answer, or should I say abuse is created and then the comfort, and the oscillation between those strategies. By the way, if you're not familiar with the cycle of abuse, there's an actual wheel. You can look into it and find it out. It talks about the oscillation and what it's designed to do. Okay. It's called narcissistic abuse, but it talks about what it is designed to do. It is a form of conditioning. It is a form of brainwashing. It is a form of trauma inflicting. The person that's on the abusee is so exhausted. Okay, the abuse, and then when the abuser acts just normal, just basic, bitch, we're not gonna even say extraordinary, when they just stop abusing for 5 minutes and act, you know what I'm saying, decent, at least for all intents and purposes, so it appears, the abusee is so happy to have experience something other than the abusive behavior, even if it's basic and even if it's coming with ill intention, just to keep somebody in a cycle, or even if it's just to have access. So I've infused and will continue to. I put judgment immediately, but it doesn't mean that I don't act out. I don't inflict. I don't have to do those things. It's, if they come and present with ill will and hidden dishonor, they will suffer. Period. Period. If they reach to shake and touch me with ill will and hidden dishonor, they can bank on something creeping up on them. Period. Or my son, for that matter. They can bank on something slowly creeping, like I said, and they may not even draw the connection, and the connection doesn't need to be drawn. But if they come with some sprinkle, bitch, if they come with some psychological sorcery buzzwords, trigger warning, trigger subconscious, bitch, I don't get. If they come with any of that, they can bank on something creeping on that ass. Car not starting, bitch, all of a sudden, and it's gonna be just how they act. All things that seems plausible, and just like life happenstance. The very thing that they use against you, Target, the very thing that they use to make you look like you're nuts, so is gonna be the same shit that start happening to their ass. And it's gonna look like, oh, this is life. This shit happens. You're correct. Good. Good. And keep saying that, because it don't matter. Oh, I lost my wallet after playing in her energy. Y'all. Got sick for 4 days. Yeah. They take advantage and exploit everything about the target, okay? Just to get on the more serious note. So the target's trying to survive, right? The target is trying to rebuild and help themselves take care of themselves because they realize that it's a trap. They realize that people are trying to coercively control their lives and take over. So they do whatever they can do at their disposal. So with them spying on everything, they exploit all those things, which include Facebook Marketplace. It includes, if the target is walking, that's going to be exploited because they are seeking to take advantage of all things pertaining to the everyday's goings-ons of the target and their household or their children. Everything. They're on social media, likewise, same difference. Taking that as an opportunity to spy on their location, taking that as an opportunity to cast spells through technology, taking that as an opportunity to find new and creative and innovative ways to steal because they lack it themselves. I almost got rid of everything. I'm gonna sell some shit. I gotta wait till the last minute, but I done got rid of good and plenty shit, bitch. Those shit waiting and sell shit. I got some whole shit because I'm getting rid of everything. What I'm learning about it, though, what I find very unique and fascinating, just from the curious mind, scientific kind of psychological standpoint, is when they do the honey pods, it's like a part of me is like, I want to dissect the psyche of these individuals. I do. I would like to cut their brains for science. Because it's for good people, decent, grounded people, especially the people who talk about, they like to talk about God, the Most High, Jesus, or whatever people's personal, especially the ones that come with the whole spirituality or God. I want to cut their brains open because if they are what they are, then why did they agree to what they agreed to? A ball got dropped somewhere, something missing. There's something missing. There's something missing. And for those who consider themselves just decent folk on the up and up, government, military, whatever the case may be, if that be the case, if it's true, then something's missing. Because you don't agree to those types of things. You don't condone that. You don't participate in those kinds of things. You're not going to be going to anybody under false pretense with the intention of gaining some kind of recon and information for some corrupt lowlife in your life. This is why I say it's more, I try to steer away as a person. That's just me. I try to steer away from a lot of things. Even when I meet people, you're not going to ever hear me start going about God and source. That's not what you're going to get. What you're going to get is just a contact with a person, a being that's going to be fully present and decent and kind based on that in and of itself. Because at the end of the day, catchphrases, there's a lack of groundedness in a lot of things with a lot of people. They talk in catchphrases. They don't know how to be, they talk in spirituality and catchphrases, but they don't know how to address the practical real life things that may be happening that requires proper attention outside of spirituality, religion, or any of that. It needs proper attention, especially if somebody's physicality and health and well-being, if somebody is attempting to poison or continue to poison somebody, saying that no weapon formed against them shall prosper is really not as useful as one may think it is. Okay? Just imagine somebody, they have a household, them and their children. Even if they survived it, that's not the question. That's not what needs to be looked at and evaluated. The fact that it's happening and we don't really know how far it's going to go, how many times, that's their health and well-being. Saying a prayer or telling them to ignore it and stay positive, and I believe most of us got head fucked. I'm just going to say it. So but damn bad. Through religion, through colonization, through the demoralization and the beating down of our whole fucking lineages and culture, that we don't even know the otherwise. We're satisfied with the catchphrases. Meanwhile, the powers that be that benefit off our dumbness, off somewhere on chill status, getting benefits and shit, bitch. Just all your shit while you just happy to be surviving shit because they fucking you over and your energy and you don't know about that and you just think you surviving shit. And yeah, come on, man. Keep you in struggle template and shit while they that hit, that vein. Huh? I'm trying to help y'all because I've been there. I always had a level of practicality, but once upon a time, I was there when it's like catchphrases and just trust. It's like, no, sometimes you action somebody's life and kids. You don't tell them to just keep believing. Not if you can do. There's this guy that I used to listen to on TikTok, and he said he's an atheist, but he's a former preacher or something like that. And he said, he said a part of what he believes happens with folks is they don't really know what to do or what to say and how to answer or remedy a thing, and they just go there. Okay, your life can be in danger. There could be real issues at play, or your health and your well-being is being compromised, and they don't have the answers, or they don't want to really be bothered with any practical solutions. And I believe that that's what most of us are surrounded by. That's a lot of what we get. That's also why TIs don't get the support, because most folks are in that kind of template. And as they hoover, even me now, because that's what they're doing spell work, that they are starting to feel some kind of negative effect for. And it's getting hard. But you see what I'm saying? That's occult abuse. And this is the stuff that is hidden in plain sight. That's something that needs to come to the forefront. That's abuse. Hidden in somebody's apartment so they can hide in their apartment and be an abuser. It's the new cowardly way of being an abuser. That's what that is. In the public, I'm going to look like I'm straight-laced, but when I go into my house or my apartment, I'm going to execute abuse. And then I'm going to send my minions if the target moves at all, especially if they're on foot, I'm going to send all of my minions with all manner of debauchery and like shivers with all manner of evil and wickedness and spells and dust. And I was wondering why for the longest time before I even knew the fullness, I was wondering why when I got my son here, I was like, what the fuck? Like at the very beginning, I think, and I would go and play. I was like, what's wrong with these people? Because I don't know the people. I don't know them. So I mean, like, I don't fellowship. Okay. So I was wondering why people was hurling out of cars and shit, throwing shit and spring. I was like, what the hell? Like, why, while they're driving and shit? Because I'm like, now I know why. I was wondering why people was yelling out their cars. One time I heard my sibling. Yeah, I did. This is low. This is like way like when my son barely first got here. I did. They were in the car driving up Northwest Parkway, going towards Parkdale Mall. So just in case, bitch, if any of you, if any of you motherfuckers make your way out here, I'm telling you, you'll catch your ass if she ain't been detained yet. Now, I remember I was on my son's patio and somebody was zooming. Like I said, they be driving sometime up and down Northwest Parkway like a bat of hell. I almost be thinking someone on crack. Because some of the ways the cars, I'm like, no, this person cannot be regular. I'm like, no, no. um, but they were driving, whoever was driving, because I don't know if they were actually driving, if they were just sitting in the car. They were driving towards the Parkdale Mall, and and it made me stop and turn because, like I said, I remember voices and faces. I may not remember names all the goddamn time, but I'm telling you. So they was yelling out the car and they called my name. They said my name. That's what made me look. And then the sound, I was like, what? And I stopped and I turned, but they were like driving really fast and low. And so I just turned back around, went inside, from the patio inside. And I was like, that's strange. But this was very early on. These are all games. These are psychological trickster warfare games that make somebody think they're losing their mind because they'll usually hide in plain sight and they'll pay everybody to keep the lie alive. Okay? That's the way this is. That's to get everyone to question the reality. It's called gaslighting in a covert fashion. There's overt and covert abuse. Okay? Let's see what else. I think that's all I wanted to share. So, because I'm going to finish clearing and bringing in the love energy. I am noticing a difference. I told y'all I will keep y'all updated about if I can gauge and like I'm tweaking things. I can still sense the other stuff, clearing, but then bringing in the other energy to see how that's kind of buffering, filtering out. But that's what I have that I can do considering all things here until I'm able to get me and my son out of this state or out of this area. I'm not sure, but I know for sure we want out the state. I don't want to be, and I don't want my son in any area. We left places for a reason. So I am willing to have to start from ground zero because I don't want him or myself around people that are coming for our lives, if I can help it, around estranged relatives and their trash ass people. I don't want, not in the vicinity, because they're like a plague, a parasite, and an infestation. I don't want him near it. We will not be able to thrive and succeed because that's off. They're off. And I don't have the bandwidth to try to convince any official shit here. I'm done with that. I told them from the very beginning. So I don't have the bandwidth to play bureaucracy in Zoom meetings. I don't have the bandwidth to deal with political agendas, religious bigotry and biases and all those things. I don't have the bandwidth. My son and I deserve better than that. Being somebody's target practice, training, whatever, this weird shit. I don't have the bandwidth for that. We're getting out of here, period, the end, ground zero, starting over, scratch, zilch, nothing. It's okay. It's not okay, but I will be okay, and I will make sure my son is okay, away from this being up under people that's trying to trick the matrix system via longitude and latitude bullshit, this barricading bullshit, weird shit. They're going to pay for that too. They may already start being paying for it because it's judgment on it. It's going to be judgment on this. Trying to basically convolute me and my son's energy via barricading to just a simplified Ebonics version, urban terms. Games in plain sight. Like I said, something must have happened a couple of days ago, which maybe had everybody in meetings or something shocked. But they're back at their same shit. They're back at the noise and the spells. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing that has changed is they're getting resistance and pain. That's why I saw some of their leaders. That's why more of them leaders is coming out. The money bags. These are just little minions, baby. Oh, they just the minions. Okay, that's what they is. They're the hired help. I saw leaders. Them little dead birdies are theirs, though. They're going to get a nice little surprise. You want to know what the surprise is? See, I'm talking about the head honchos now. I ain't talking about, to hell with they minions. They're going to get their just desserts one way or the other. Chances are the big wigs are going to betray them anyway. It always happened like that, baby. Ain't no honor among thieves. When people gonna learn that one? When motherfuckers gonna learn that? Let's see. I'll give you all, I'm going to do 3 card pull on behalf of the collective, the TI. These games, the honeypots and the antagonist, the constant sorcery and occult ritual abuse in dwelling space. Let's see what's going to happen to them. Hold on. Oh, not for long. I'm about to deal with them in a second. So give me 1 second. They think somebody's stupid. When are they going to catch up? Who knows? That's why shit happening now. Anywho, let's get 3 cards. What's going to happen to that ass? I'm going to rephrase that. What's happening? Whenever you see this video, collective, this may be something presently happening, even if you don't know it, even if they haven't fully realized it. The energy could have already been activated and moving based on their decisions and their thoughts and their activity and behavior. See how that works? All right. They're persisting in the TI's energy here with the game. With the psychological warfare tactics, torture program, sorcery, occult practice, oscillating from honeypot to antagonist. What do we have here? What's the penalty? What kind of backlash and whoop ass? The big wigs. Yeah, the money. What's that ass, man? Okay. We're going 3 cards. Okay. Uh-oh. Fanatical belief in hypocrisy. Uh-oh. They're not going to be able to talk their way out of their fanatical beliefs and their hypocrisy. So 29, breaking down to 11, there's some kind of exposure, justice. They may have to answer for something here. And then we have ambition, the light of understanding. 6, there's going to be exposure. People are going to be exposed as fanatics. They're going to suffer something with the judicial system here, or just the universe coming in for their fanatical belief and their hypocrisy. Eloquence is in the reverse, so they're lying. They're going to also be exposed for having an issue with somebody because they are eloquent. And so, yeah. With 6 here, this could be people of your past, somebody's lover, somebody's sibling. This is about fairness. Getting back what they put out. Ooh. Woo. Solitude. Some of them gonna get that ass ghosted, and they're not gonna have no comfort here. They're gonna be either exposed for trying to abuse somebody that's trying to find solace and comfort from whatever they've gone through, and taking it as an opportunity to abuse somebody out of their fanaticism here and hypocrisy. Light of understanding is telling me exposure. Ooh, wee. Ignorance. Whew. Somebody could be 53 years old, breaking down to an 8. Ignorance. Good gravy. What's at the bottom here? Somebody gonna get spiritual trouble. They're in trouble. I said it. They're in trouble. Because they cause spiritual problems for you all out of their fanaticism. It says fanatical beliefs and hypocrisy. And they hid it because they hid it, and they did it because you're, whatever seclusion or whatever it is, trying to create discomfort for you, they're going to be exposed for it, or they're being exposed for it in real time. For taking advantage of people's ignorance about spiritual matters, because some of them know shit that they pretend to not know, and tap into shit they pretend to not tap into. It says Astaroth, Lilahil, Cameo, and Raum. On this side, it says Balfour. Ooh. They in trouble, bitch. It said that they in trouble, bitch. We talking a big wig. See, I moved aside the little pawns and minions, because the pawns and minions aren't a stranger to troubles and problems. This is why they're easily fished in the first place. Okay, they're not. So they don't even be catching the fact that they getting whoop-lash and all kinds of shit, because they, most of them are used to something in the first place, so they be making deals and and whoop. The big wigs, not so much. They're not used to it, because them being big wigs have created power. They can finesse and muscle and money. You know what I'm saying? Manipulate, muscle, money. Give it to me. Oh, them things finna come pick them up for show you. They finna come pick them up. They finna come pick them up for doing this to y'all and your kids. Sending all their little minions. Birds! Birds! To antagonize and attack you and your kids and shit, 9 of swords. To try to drive y'all crazy, saying y'all crazy, attacking y'all, sending people to attack. One of y'all that holds your head down, they gonna hold their fucking head down by the time this shit finish, bitch. They gonna be tortured at night and shit. Birds! They gonna see. You gonna see floating voodoo dolls and shit. Some of them dolls gonna start talking to their ass. Oh, you finna die, bitch. Uh-oh. Oh my God, Tom. Did you see that, Tom? I saw that Tom. Or their little kid is waking up screaming, why? Did you touch the collective's child? Okay. Birds. 9 of swords. They're gonna have legal troubles, sleepless nights. Ooh, I saw that from the tarot. They little friendships and shit. Somebody finna follow that ass around or under investigation. It could be them and a friend, or their relationships are under investigation with the 2 of Cups, or will be under investigation for stalking. Yeah. Something like that. Friendships. Uh-oh. Oh, and this one hit the phone, bitch. Okay, 4 of Cups, rejection. Oh, what? Hello, bitch. Oh, I told you. I knew it. So they gonna get in trouble for trying to block an opportunity for somebody to heal something, doing something out of boredom, trying to dim your light, cause sickness or loss to your hopes, goals, dreams, and aspirations. So their dreams are gonna, woo, child. King of Swords in the reverse. This could be a corrupt businessman or whatever. But honey, somebody may get sick here. For partnering with people. Child, something's gonna get rejected. Their shit to do this to you is gonna be rejected, and it's gonna you're gonna be held in high honor. And this is gonna, yeah, there it is. It's going to come out that these people are mad that you're held in high honor, or that you're getting wins, victories, successes, and attention, so they wanted to attack you. People was mad because you was winning, bitch, and you was, you know what I'm saying, held in high honor, bitch. And so that's why they sent the birds. That's why they sent the hyenas and the gremlins and shit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. That's why they send them for your ass every time you move. Other people was trying to get wins and attention. They're going to get called out, trying to get wins and attention off of antagonizing you, trying to get some kind of come up off of torturing you. And that's why they ass, dumb ass gonna be broke, nigga. They finna go for broke, motherfucker. King of Pentacles in reverse. Told you. I told you they're damn pentacles. You want to deal with the money bags? I want to get to that ass. They don't care about shit else. I guarantee you they don't care about shit else. I guarantee you they don't. Not even the relationships they claim to love. They don't really. They'll accept the loss of relationship before they want to lose that money, honey. Before they want to lose them boats, them houses, them cars. They rather go through a divorce. Shit. Don't give a fuck. Three of Wands in reverse. Their plans is going to shit. They're about to lose their abundance. The shit's gonna go a wire. Nine of Swords. Boom, bitch. Yeah, sneaking. Seven of Swords here, sneaking. Look at these swords. Something's gonna be taken from them. Somebody might sneak off away from them. Three of Pentacles is going into the reverse. Yep. Oof. Chariot in reverse. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is loss of control, loss of direction, loss of authority, loss of mobility, loss. Something is fixing to happen. Three of Pentacles. This could be vehicles, money for vehicles, partnerships, building. All of this is fixing to go a wire as they persist with these games with you. Having people following you around, having honey pots to come in as you're walking because they know you're tired of walking, and go up to them. And like, see, all of these are games. And they think you're stupid. And I like that they do. I do. Because they put themselves in a trap. See, because here's who I am. I don't mean people any harm. Not off the bat. But if you're coming into my energy with ill will and intention, then you put the judgment on yourself. You put it on yourself. Because I didn't tell you. The collective ain't tell you to take no shiesty, skanky deal for your crazy ass cousin. That you know is loopy as hell, and you pretending, bitch, like you don't know that. For your trash ass mistress. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck. And you pretending to not know that. For your crazy mammy or your crazy daddy, and you pretending to not know that. For your crazy sibling, and you pretending to not know that. Or the crazy motherfucker you went to school with, you grew up with, and you pretending to not know that. These collectives ain't did shit to y'all, these folks, and you're gonna bring your ass. What's gonna start happening too is some people are gonna be realizing that this is gonna fuck with the big wigs, because there's gonna be some people that start to realize that you're honorable. And what's gonna make them realize it, that some of them gonna have dreams and they're gonna be up all at night because how they were sneaky trying to do shit, and it's gonna torture the fuck out of them. Oh, it's gonna torture the fuck out of them. And they gonna start saying, I don't want to do it no more. Or, no thank you, or I don't want no part of this, or whatever, because this person is honorable. You don't have to like them. I don't have to like them. They didn't do anything. You just don't like them. You don't like who they are. You don't like what they believe. You don't like that they was with who. That's what this is. You want money, and you want it on their dime. You want it at the suffrage of them and their children. And this is dishonorable in general, but it's certainly dishonorable to someone who is held in high honor. So I have no interest in being a part of your recon scheme program. I have no interest in going in this person's face pretending because they're honorable. I don't want that done to me. I want to talk about God and Bible, Jesus, spiritual. Okay, I got to apply the whole shit, cause it be saying then I did, the do unto others, bitch, and I wouldn't be want unto the others. I don't want the others to be doing unto thine me, bitch. I don't want they ass. I don't want nobody coming at me like that. I don't want nobody coming at me like that, knowing that I ain't did shit to nobody. I don't want nobody coming at me like that on some false bullshit, pretend Karen. I don't want nobody to come at me like that. So I can get information or get in their energy or try to inflict something in their energy field. I don't want nobody coming at me like that. So I'm not finna conduct. You can have your car, your cellular phone, and your Walmart gift card. Crazy cousin, you know what? No harms, no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that. Crazy cousin. Crazy ex, crazy sibling, crazy person I went to school with, crazy, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't involve myself in that type of shit. I don't know this lady. I know what you saying. I don't know this man. I don't know this lady. I know what you saying, but I don't. I know the story that's being spent me. I know what y'all are presenting, but I don't. And I consider myself a decent person. I don't know what you is and what you consider yourself, not my problem. But I consider myself a decent person. So, no. Games. Upstanding people, you know what I'm saying, They question things that are presented to them too. You know what I'm saying? When stuff is coming to them, people try to get them involved in shit. They don't just do it. They don't just do some shit. Especially mature. Youngsters maybe, because youngsters are, to be fair, youngsters are easily, you know what I'm saying? That's fair. Okay. But us old motherfuckers, nah, yeah. It's like, outside of catchphrases, are we applying the wisdom we claim to have?